Here's a bay horse.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere, for ends to know and ways to grow, a reading rainbow.
All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. That was Clownvis reading Rainbow. He's pretty fucking cool, man. He first of all, he's got his own podcast. It's kind of like goofy, kind of like he's got like animatronics and shit. He's a Elvis impersonator who dresses as a clown. He does all sorts of music. Go check him out. I found him through Sam Tripoli. I was listening through the entire library of The Naughty Show, which it's not too hard to find. You can find it. There's like 300 episodes. It's pretty fucking good. It was back when he used to interview porn stars and shit. So it's not really conspiratorial. It was before he was like a conspiracy theorist, you know. But he came on there one day, and I ended up checking him out and finding his channel on YouTube and listening to it. And I actually got on one of his podcasts. He does like call-ins or like you like FaceTime. And I got on, and he was like, gave me a shout out and stuff, Conspiracy Corner Podcast, and he was asking me questions. It was like a game about Ernest, which I actually I did a whole Ernest video. I went to Pioneer Playhouse and kind of documented it in a video form, and then I went to his grave in Lexington. So I did a whole video on Ernest. He was cool. James, I think it was Jimmy Verner, Jimmy Varnes, something like that. I can't remember, forgive me, but he was a cool dude, man. I grew up watching his movies and shit. But yeah, you can actually see me on that Clownvis episode, if you can find it. But it's a goofy show. It's funny. I like it. So shout outs to him. But told y'all I'd be starting with intro music if I can. So yesterday, I already kind of did an update on what's been going on with my life. I just woke up about an hour or two ago. Today I'm off today. My wife's working, which sucks. So I'm just gonna kind of play video games. Figured I'd put a podcast out. And yesterday we did an episode on Nottoway Plantation. So go check that episode out. We did a deep dive on it because I really had never heard of this place, and wanted to do a deep dive on it because I like paranormal and shit. And it got brought up because there's a tour going on called the Devils on the Run tour, and whenever they went to the Nottoway Plantation, or the town in Louisiana, the Nottoway Plantation burnt down. A bunch of people broke out of jail, so they were saying that it was related to the Annabelle doll. Here recently, Dan Rivera died. So 2 episodes ago, I covered that. You can go check it out. They're blaming it on Annabelle again. I have to say, at first I was skeptical, but like now, like the more stuff is going on, I'm like, there might be something to this. So they're in Gettysburg right now, and I'm like, dude, I haven't done a deep dive on Gettysburg like ever. I don't think so. And I was like, so I'm gonna do an episode on Gettysburg. So today we're doing a deep dive on Gettysburg, and I will put this in the Warrens playlist. If you're interested in the Warrens and Annabelle and all that jazz, go check out that playlist. It's pretty good. I've got like 6 or 7 episodes on there. So let's get on with the show. Chilling with my cat. She's my co-host today. She's pretty quiet. She doesn't say much, but she likes to podcast with me. So, meet the Gettysburg ghost spirits said to haunt the Civil War's deadliest battlefield. It was nearly impossible to bury all the corpses that fell onto the battlefield, leaving some to say that their spirits still linger over a century later. And here's an actual photo of Gettysburg. Ain't it crazy they had like photography back then? It still blows my mind sometimes. Just when you look at older photos, it's like, okay. The Battle of Gettysburg was the Civil War's grisliest, and the carnage it wrought is said to linger on the battlefield even today. And by the way, this article is from a Natasha Ishak. So go check it out. Shout outs to her. The battle began on July 1st, so we're in July now, so it's good timing. 1863, when Confederate Army General Robert E. Lee confidently marched his troops through Pennsylvania, where they planned to launch an attack on Union forces. But miscalculations on the battlefield cost the Confederacy the fight and many lives. A total of nearly 51,000 casualties were tallied by the end of the 3-day battle. So wow, 51,000 died in 3 days. It's just mind-blowing. Many of the dead had to be quickly buried near the battlefront. Although most of the dead were later moved for a proper burial, many were left behind. Ever since, there have been ghostly sightings of dead soldiers reported by locals and visitors. Some of these Gettysburg ghosts have even allegedly been caught on camera. So they have a video here, and we'll go ahead and play that so you guys can see. It's 55 seconds. And of course it's gonna be fucking... Well, never mind on that. It's not wanting to load. Sorry about that. Indeed, just this past September in 2020, Greg Euling of New Jersey claimed to have captured 2 ghosts crossing the road in front of him as he passed through Gettysburg. I used to live, by the way, I lived on Battlefield Road in Perryville, Kentucky, and that place is haunted as fuck. And my brother's house, the one that I moved into after he moved away, it was haunted as fuck. His wife was getting groped in the shower. He could hear boots walking up and down the porch, because I think what they said was that the house was like possibly used as a hospital or something along those lines. Crazy shit though, man. I do believe that battlefields are haunted as fuck, you know. But I would love to go visit Gettysburg, man. This is why I want to win the lotto so bad. So that way I could do this as a full-time job, like make documentaries, you know, just have a job that I actually enjoy instead of like a dead-end gas station job. The town's reputation as the site of one of the bloodiest battles of the Civil War has made it popular among both history buffs and fans of the supernatural. Many who have come to visit spots and town where the alleged hauntings have occurred. The Battle of Gettysburg was a bloodbath. Here's another photo. Crazy shit, man. All those dead bodies just on rocks. It looks like they were probably using them for cover or something. The Confederate Army arrived in Pennsylvania confidently under the command of General Robert E. Lee, who was riding high from his previous victory in Chancellorsville. Much to his dismay, however, his army warned during the conflict. A combination of faulty intelligence and ineffective battle strategies compounded in a Confederate loss, and the Union's victory at Gettysburg was no doubt a turning point for them in the Civil War. The Battle of Gettysburg had been particularly gruesome, having lasted over 3 days with 8,000 men killed outright on the battlefield. The extent of the carnage established Gettysburg as a harvest of death. That sounds like a dope-ass metal band name. There's another photo. Someone dead. the rifle next to him. It's crazy. I've always heard too that like when they would go through where the dead bodies were, like they would take their bayonets and stab each of the dead bodies, because a lot of people would lose the battle and like lay on the ground and pretend to be dead and wait for a moment to where they could like run away or something, you know. So they would go through and stab every dead body, like, you know, let's make sure these motherfuckers are dead. Heavy shit, man. Accounts from survivors paint a vivid scene of horror, like this recollection from a New Jersey soldier. Some of the faces, bloated and blackened beyond recognition, lay with glassy eyes staring up at the blazing summer sun. Others with faces downward and clenched hands filled with grass or earth, which told of the agony of the last moments. Here a headless trunk, there a severed limb. In all the grotesque positions that the unbearable pain and intense suffering contorts the human body, they lay. Damn. The numbers of body was said to have reeked. The stench of the corpses of both men and horses that had baked in the sun-filled air. Some 3,000 horse carcasses had to be burned, and they reportedly caused the townsfolk to grow ill from the stench. Yeah. Simple burials were done quickly between the fighting in order to quell the odor, but the efforts could not keep up with the death count. So here's some dudes, another Gettysburg photo. They're just chilling, it looks like lunch break or something. The corpses were later exhumed and reburied at the newly formed National Military Park Cemetery, but the number of dead bodies was so great that not all the remains were successfully moved. So the bodies have been disturbed. They've been moved. I don't know if you guys know a lot about paranormal, but that's usually if you fuck with a body. Like, look at the famous Bell Witch situation of a boy, one of the Bell boys, found a Native American skull in a cave on the property, which one day me and Sammy are going out there to visit, dude, and tour it. And the Indian's tooth fell out of its skull and through the floorboard, and they couldn't get it out. And that's supposedly what caused the house to be haunted, you know, was this Indian's tooth, because the parents were like, dude, put that skull back. Like, you're messing with Indian remains, you know, like, what are you doing? So, moving bodies, man, causes, apparently, the spirits to stir, you know. In fact, remains from the Battle of Gettysburg were still being uncovered in 1996. Wow. Over 130 years after the war. It's perhaps no surprise that there have been sightings of so-called Gettysburg's ghost. A couple of Gettysburg ghosts make recent news. There's Mr. Lincoln. That photo almost looks fake. I am not gonna lie. I don't know why. There's a whole conspiracy theory, by the way, and I actually slightly subscribe to it. Give me just a second. And it kind of ties in with like Tartaria and stuff. Like, first of all, I listened to this really great episode on airships during the Civil War, that there was already airships and stuff, not blimps, like airships. Well, I mean, I guess they're blimps, I don't know. Like Tartarian airship technology, that there was already, like, they were trying to militarize it during the Civil War. They asked Mr. Lincoln, like, hey, do you guys want to use airships and, like, maybe drop bombs and sticks of dynamite on soldiers, and, like, we could fly over them and drop stuff, you know, like bombs and shit. And he was like, it would have been an aerial battle. Like, how insane would that have been during the Civil fucking War? And Lincoln turned it down, but it shows you that we had, like, that type of technology back then. But There's a dude I used to watch all the time. His name's Martin Liedeke. He's cool as fuck, dude. He's an English fellow, and he thinks that the Civil War was like fake. Now, I'm not going to go full blown and say that it was fake, but I think just like I did an episode on it, go watch. There's a documentary called 6 Million Lies, and I did an episode on it 2 or 3 episodes ago called Mecha Hitler. The second half of that episode, I get on my feelings and thoughts of the Holocaust. Like, I believe it happened, but I do not believe it's 100% the way we're told it happened. And they literally prove in this documentary I watched called 6 Million Lies that they were like photoshopping photos of World War II. And they show you multiple examples how they were photoshopping photos, and I'm like, what? They were photoshopping back then? And Martin Liedeke shows a bunch of Civil War photos of like Confederate and Union like fighting, and it looks staged as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of like, I think, not saying that I don't believe the Civil War happened, but I think a lot of it was staged and shit. And when you actually hear accounts of like Freemasonry on the battlefield, like they were soldiers who were, one would be Union and the other would be Confederate, and they would both do a Freemason sign, and they would like help each other and like not fight and shit. So like, if that's going on, who's to say that these generals and shit and weren't like throwing up the little Freemason code? I don't know. I'm not a Freemason, or like, you know, like, hey buddy, I'm one of you, hidden hand, you know, like we're not battling today, you know. We're just gonna act like we didn't see each other and just march in different directions. Lincoln can kiss my ass, you know. So yeah, it is Conspiracy Corner. So talks of phantom figures trawling the small town at night have made its way to the mainstream consciousness, adding a supernatural flair to the town's name. Among the strangest claims include sightings of the Confederate Army leader himself, General Robert E. Lee, who died peacefully at his Virginia home long after the battle. Go check out an episode I did. It's called Ghost of Beaumont Inn. I actually have a story, a ghost story about Robert E. Lee in that podcast. Go check it out, dude. I worked at an old fucking inn that was used as a girls' school during the Civil War to keep them safe during the Civil War, so that way they weren't like raped and murdered, you know, or crazy shit, because war is fucking crazy. But Robert E. Lee stayed there multiple times, and there's a picture that fell, and just go check the episode out. It's interesting. Nevertheless, thrill seekers and ghost hunters have descended upon the haunted Gettysburg. The popular tours of the historic and haunted Gettysburg field are nearly rivaled by the ghost tours available around town. So here's a picture of what appears to be a ghost next to a cannon. Hopefully you can see it good. And you can see it. There's a figure there, dude. I've seen videos too. Go type in Gettysburg ghost videos, and I've seen videos of like soldiers running, like full-blown apparitions running. So I think that the event was so fucking powerful, that there was so much spirit energy of all those thousands of people and people dying and like trauma, that it's probably, I would say, one of the most haunted spots in America, if not the most haunted spot in America. At the Cashtown Inn, where the first soldier of the Gettysburg campaign was allegedly killed, strange orbs and skeletons have allegedly been captured in photographs. So skeletons, dude. That's fucking dope. Taken by Jack Palladino and his wife, the owners of the establishment. They claim that their guests have reported thumping doors, flickering lights, and inexplicably locked doors while staying at the inn. Once again, I wish I was rich. I would love to fucking stay there. Cashtown Inn, that sounds fucking dope. More sightings have been reported from other overnight establishments like the haunted Gettysburg Hotel, where a ghostly woman has been seen dancing inside the hotel's ballroom. Paranormal investigators who have come to inspect the site claim the spirit of the Union soldier James Culbertson of Company K under the Pennsylvania Reserves also roams the hotel at night. I want to stay there too. Put that on the list. The most recent independent sighting was Ewing's, which went viral when he shared it online. Ewing said he had been driving through the battlefield late at night with his family when they spotted what they believed to be two soldiers crossing the road. Full-blown apparitions, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, most people's ghost stories, like, I've seen one full-blown apparition, like, once in my life. Like, clear as day. It's fucking mind-blowing. But you really don't see full-blown apparitions that much. There has to be some powerful fucking energy there, man. That's what I'm trying to reiterate, because, like, apparitions are rare. Normally, you'll see stuff move, you'll hear knocks, you'll hear footsteps, you'll get a scratch, you'll feel a touch, but you'll see an orb, but you won't see a full-blown apparition, dude. Most of the time. There's a theory too that Wi-Fi is like kind of killing out ghosts. That like kills ghosts, you know. Because think about it, man. There's all these accounts of like ghost stories all the way up into like the 90s, and in somewhere around the early 2000s, you really don't hear that much ghost shit. You know, it seems like ghosts have calmed down. It's weird, right? And I mean, you got to think like Wi-Fi came around and shit. I don't know. Maybe there's something to it, you know. It's just interesting. We were driving along one night and we started hearing noises. I heard things to the left and my uncle heard things to the right, and there was a fog. Ooh. But the fog was weird. It was only in one patch, not dispersed. Interesting. So like a patch of fog just sitting there, not dispersing. Ewing told The Sun, "It was scary, it was crazy, I couldn't go to sleep." Dude, that's how I felt after seeing like my first like UFO and shit, man. Like I was just like, I couldn't sleep that night, man. I stayed up all fucking night looking at the windows and shit. Same with Ghost, man. Like I don't know, like I've been able to sleep through ghost shit, but whether real or not, the alleged haunting of Gettysburg reveals more than our fascination of the supernatural. It is also a testament to the unbelievable amount of blood that was shed during the battle, and unknown souls possibly trapped on its battlefield. So, just a little bit of a plug. I do have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up. If you want to donate $1 or something, that would be fucking awesome. It helps pay for pens, paper, flash drives. It helps me keep the channel going because I do not profit off of this channel. I lost my sponsor, which was Anchor. So I don't make any money on this channel anymore. If anything, I put money into it. So it helps out. It's in any of wherever you're listening to this from. It's in the description if you choose to help. That'd be cool. So I managed to find one of those still frames. I found the footage, so I'm gonna go play it for you. Let's see. Wow. And I'm gonna try to find the other one that was I couldn't get played. So hang on just a second. So this is actually one of my personal favorites. I've seen this years ago and it blew my fucking mind. they're filming basically a wood line on the battlefield, dude, and you can literally see Ghost like running, dude. It's fucking insane. So I'll play that for you.
Hmm? Got a moon there. No, there's a motorcycle. Hmm?
I don't see nothing down there. Can't be the motorcycles, honey. There's nothing sparkling. You
See it?
What's that?
Apparitions, dude.
What is that?
Tree.
No.
No,
You
homie.
missed it, right?
Look at
Right
that.
there.
Apparition.
Yeah. Look. I can't see.
Full-blown apparitions walking around and running and shit.
Isn't it those people?
Can't be.
There's
Not
nobody.
up in the trees.
There's nobody down there no more.
I love the accent, by the way. Nobody down there no more. But that footage has always blown my mind. So there's a couple. My internet's being crazy, so I don't mind to tell you about a story that I was telling you about. I lived on a battlefield, a Perryville battlefield, and we had ghost encounters. So I had a buddy who snuck into. His name was David. He was a manager, but he was like, we were friends first, dude. Like, I got to know him, and he's like, dude, he never got on to me about nothing. Like, we were cool as fuck. We were bad boys at work, you know. So he told me this story, dude. He's like, dude, we snuck into, I mean, it's not really sneaking into because there's no gates, but a lot of people go to Perryville battlefield after hours when they're not supposed to fucking be there because they're ghost hunting and shit, and teenagers go out there and have sex and you know, doing what teenagers do. So he was a teenager at the time, and he snuck out there, and it was him and a girl, and they were fooling around, and I don't know, she had to like go pee in the field or something, so he was just chilling on the blanket. And they have like little buildings set up, like, I don't think they're authentic from the 1800s or whatever during Civil War, but they make them look like they are. And there's like little buildings you can walk into, and they have like old antiques and shit. Like, hey, this was bullets found. You know how museums are. Well, Civil War museums. You know. He said he's seen full-blown apparition, a specter of a soldier go out, like walk out of the building, walk on this like long wood pathway, and just walk across the field, and then walk into another building. And it just blew his fucking mind, dude. But I don't know, man. Like, me and my wife, we used to do ghost hunting and stuff, and I would love to get back into definitely ghost hunting and checking out this shit. And my brother, the Perryville battlefield house, like, there was a really weird situation where they were all sitting down and eating dinner, and they left the Wii on, and it was literally like on a screen to where you like name your character, like Zelda or something, and no one had the controller, and the cursor was moving and spelling out words like a fucking Ouija board. The ghost was using the Wii system and controller and television as a Ouija board, like trying to communicate to him. And one of the kids was like, "Dad, look," and he's like, "Okay, we're shutting the game off now." Like, their house was haunted as fuck, and me and him, we did like basically like an exorcism on the house, and everything went away, you know. We got water and just prayed over it, like in the name of Jesus and all that bullshit. And I do think there is power in that, but like we pretty much like poured holy water on all four corners of the house and went through the house and like banished whatever was there, you know, like made like holy oil and like prayed over it and like put it on the four corners of the house. And he said that it worked. Everything went away after that. But I hope you enjoyed our deep dive of Gettysburg Ghost. I love you all. Please like, share, and subscribe. And you all have an awesome day. And go check out the Warrens playlist, man. We're definitely going to be adding more to it because I love talking about the Warrens, and this is Warren related because the Devil's on the Run tour. So hope you all enjoyed, and catch y'all later.